Hi, everyone.
Hier ist das Problem mit normalen Kissen. In jeder Ruheposition kommt es bei einem herkömmlichen Kissen.
Okay, let's start. We just check a little bit of the technical side. Hi. Seems all right. Sorry, first time we had a bit problem today. Okay, that's better. So we can start. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Insights with Lily Zhang. Today is 13th of December. It's almost Christmas. In Germany, it's the third Advent Sunday, yesterday. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about waking up from COVID-19. Yeah, because recently, if you follow my program, I've got quite a lot fans and friends, and they can tell I have some attitude change about vaccine. And yeah, of course, I don't know, last week my program was banned or censorship by YouTube. I know there's always censorship on internet, but the first 24 hours, my video was banned by YouTube. So today, if you can see my program for the first 24 hours, we still okay. But anyway, let's start going. Yes, I would like to talk about, yes, I know, recently, maybe just this 2 or 3 weeks, I had a big turn around of my attitude towards this COVID whole thing situation and vaccination, because I've never been a conspiracy believer, and I've been supporting vaccination program for the last 2 years until now. Okay, yes, today I'm going to talk about why I've changed my attitude and my thinking, and going forward, where are we going? Yeah, look at today's my background. That's probably me. Yes, I think actually I feel we probably humanity actually in probably at the crossroad. We are probably experiencing the biggest psycho or group psycho hypnosis and social engineering in the whole human history. Or we probably already experienced the biggest fraud in human history as well. Anyway, I hope my program still can go on for some time, but I have to tell the truth. The reason why I have changed just quite recently, yeah, it's just although I'm not a philosopher, but I will consider myself as independent thinker. I would like to think that way anyway. Yeah. Yeah, recently, because like I already said, I'm not a conspiracy believer. Yeah. But I believe in reason and logic. Currently, some experience make me asking questions. If you watch my previous last 2 weeks program, I've been asking questions. There's just something doesn't look right. Number one is the herd immunity. After 2 years, yeah, we've been told by almost every government, or by logic, naturally, when a pandemic reaching like 70%, like if one society, 70% of people reaching immunity, which means they have already experienced the virus. So the virus cannot spread anymore. 70%, that should be enough. But so far, after 2 years, most Western countries, after vaccination, even in Europe, average 70 to 80%. Some Israel and Portugal, they're reaching 82%. Even Australia and New Zealand, they are the followers. They catch up now. I think they reaching even 80 to 90% of the vaccination rate. So it's pretty high. But recently, we haven't seen any herd immunity, nothing happening, because in Europe, Northern Hemisphere, we're just experiencing many, many more cases, or historically high cases. In Germany, it's reaching 60 to 70% of 60 to 70,000 per day. Recently coming down a bit, about 40 to 50,000 per day, which is the highest in these 2 years. The highest after 70% of Germans being vaccinated. And plus, about 5 million Germans already had the virus. So about 75% Germans are immune. Where is the herd immunity? Did all the government told us if we're reaching 70%, we're going to reach herd immunity? That's one thing I'm asking. I already asked this question from my previous program. Number 2 is about the Omicron. Yes, really, Omicron is really funny because it's turned out it's not that, it's quite mild. It's quite mild, you know. We haven't, not many people really. We've been told by the media, by the government. You know, it's the new variant. But new variant from South Africa, also from all the data coming up now, looks like it's quite mild. Not many people. Some cases, you know, some people being infected. But we haven't seen many hospitalized, and no one, so far, no single person died in the whole world from Omicron, the new variant. Okay, so looks like that's natural. Because most viruses intend to be much milder. But on the contrast, so many countries, they just tighten up their measurement of this, facing this threat of this Omicron. That's just it's not logical. It's the virus getting milder and milder. Why the measurements become tighter and tighter? What's that for? So I think the current situation just makes me think something is not right. It's not logical. And also so many new cases, historically high new cases. We've been told by the government and media it's because they blame people who are unvaccinated. Actually, even from official numbers in Germany showing for the new infected people, 60% are vaccinated. And for hospitalized people and people die of the COVID case, about 40 to 50% people are vaccinated. That means we should ask more serious question. Why so many people being vaccinated but still get infected? Well, I would say the reason is number 1, the vaccine is not that good, not so effective. Number 2 is doesn't work that much. Or another even worse scenario is, does the vaccine cause many people being infected? Because in Germany or most countries, the R ratio, the reproductive ratio of the virus already lower than 1. That means theoretically, the virus cannot spread. If people are not vaccinated, actually the virus cannot spread. But why so many people got this new infection? Yeah, last time I talked about ADE, the antibody-dependent enhancement from the vaccine. And also, when I have these questions, and I already said, I'm just a lay person. I'm not a scientist or biologist. I'm asking these questions. Why we haven't heard any scientists or politicians ask this question? Why there's no debate about that? And only thing we heard is increase the measurement and booster shots. It's time, actually, logically, it's time for reviewing of effectiveness of this vaccine, to review why we don't have the herd immunity, to review there should be better treatment of this, not just more booster shots. So now people are queuing for the booster shot because the Omicron basically from government to even mainstream media say that's mild. Why are we so panicking about get the booster shot and get more? Some country even started lockdown again, like Portugal and Israel, even Austria. So all these things make me, I have to dig more about what's happening. Just doesn't make sense. That's why my attitude changed, because I can ask these questions. Why the government not asking these questions? 2 years, why there's no review? We have a review from the vaccine suppliers, those data, but we should have independent review. So all these things add up. It's not logical. It's just something not right. Another very dodgy situation I can experience now. It's just like last week, my program's been banned for 24 hours by YouTube. And also, because I've got these questions, I just check more banned information. Of course, this is the internet age, I can't get any answer from government side, from government database, from mainstream media. So I dig more. Thank God for this internet age, we still get some informations. I was shocked. Those banned information, those banned people, most of them are real scientists. They are the ones telling the truth. They are the one actually, they probably minority, or they just because of the censorship, they've been banned. So most of the public cannot, if you don't dig, if you don't go to the so-called conspiracy side, you will not see any other information rather than what the government tell you or the mainstream tell you. So although, yeah, I'm actually open-minded. Just because I'm open-minded, that's why I dig more information. But just some very simple, logical things. I always know this virus was kind of a leak from Chinese laboratory in Wuhan, the P4 laboratory in Wuhan. Yeah, why it's so hard to get the origin of this virus? Yeah, Americans, they've done, I think this year they released a report from CIA or whatever government agent. And their conclusion is, half of the people think it's from natural, half of the people think, or those experts think from laboratory man-made. Actually, if I dig more, The Wuhan laboratory was funded by Americans. Yeah, so this SARS, this COVID-19 actually definitely is man-made. It's not, there are so many evidence showing it's not naturally. And those scientists support the laboratory leaked or intentionally released. They've all been banned. Well, I'm not going too far from that, because if I'm telling you too much about the truth, I'll be banned too. I already know that. They just label everything contrary to the mainstream media as conspiracy. That's ridiculous. Just let people judge. You don't need to label everything. Anybody opposite opposed to the government or mainstream opinion, you don't label them. Let the public know if you're really confident. We can judge who's telling the truth. Anyway, so that's the origin. That's why now I understand why Americans, so many experts, they couldn't tell us the truth either, because Americans involved. They basically this COVID-19 is the competition result of the bioweapon between America and China. It's been going on for more than 20 years. Okay, that's the origin, and also the PCR test. So we so trusted the PCR test. PCR test actually, if I tell you what I believe, which is the biggest fraud, actually, PCR test is testing the RNA, and they amplify it into DNA of it's not even the virus. They're not testing the virus. They're just testing the fragment or one RNA piece from the virus. And because RNA molecule is so small, they have to amplify that. Okay, this is too much scientific thing, but I'm just telling you a little bit background about this PCR test. Just there's a cycle. They have to amplify to many times to make the molecule bigger, like to get into the RNA size. They have to amplify it. Normally about 20 times. They call that cycle. 20 times amplify a molecule, the RNA piece. 20 times is maximum. That means any cycle over that is fraudulent or error. But the procedure for is, according to WHO, the procedures for the PCR test, the cycle for COVID-19 is 40. 40, like I already said. If you, I think, over 20, that's fraudulent or error. 40 is unacceptable. But for this 2 years, all PCR tests has been amplified, or the cycle is 40, recommended by WHO. Okay, so the PCR test is really, I think most of the cases are false. Very interesting. WHO just reduced the PCR test cycle after the American election, because last year, 2020, has always been 40. And then after January 20th, after Joe Biden become American president, and WHO just asked every lab to reduce the cycle to 35 or 30. Basically, so the cases, actually the cases tested positive almost just in the United States or worldwide just dropped 50%. How convenient. So that means just after Biden become president, the COVID cases drop by 50%. How convenient. There are many more evidence makes me believe this is not a natural pandemic. This is not a natural pandemic. This is a social engineering. It's a massive, massive social engineering. And also the shocking censorship and the propaganda of the whole world is shocking. I've only experienced this kind of propaganda and censorship in China 30 years ago, 20 or 30 years ago, when I was still living in China. Of course, China is dictatorship, it's communism. We very get used to the group massive brainwash. We could only hear one voice from the government. Everything is black and white, or the government tell you whatever you should believe, whatever the truth. There's no truth or false. Everything the government says is true. That's what we're experiencing now. How sad. So many. I think I woke up. This is my second time woke up. First time was 1989, after the Tiananmen Square. I woke up from communism. I recognized, because well, before that, I actually believe in communism. Yeah, I believe China was the best country in the whole world. All the Western world, American or British or Europeans, live in hell. And communist is the best society in the whole world. Before 1989, I believe that. And this time, I got the same feeling. I kind of waking up. Waking up from what? From democracy. From a sense of freedom we feel we have. But this time, I think that's been largely manipulated by some people, a very small group of very powerful, very wealthy global elite. Well, the power behind this, they must be very, very powerful. They control the high tech, the big pharma, and big tech companies. And they control WHO, UN. They control most of the government. Yeah, does it sound like a conspiracy theory? Yeah, of course. One biggest character of propaganda and censorship is they label everybody, everyone, any speech or any thoughts, if against the mainstream propaganda, they give you a label. They give a label and say you are a conspiracy. There's no public debate. And also, that's why I've been through the communism propaganda and censorship. That's why I can feel this time is very similar. And also we can see many people, I'm not the only one, many people are waking up. That's why you will see so many people go on the street, protest. They protest against not just the measurement of the COVID control. They're against this whole propaganda and censorship. They want to get their freedom back. What is freedom? Freedom, the fundamental of freedom of life, private property, and freedom of speech. And I'm so shocked. Because of this so-called pandemic, so many people just so willingly giving up of their freedom, for exchange of protection and safety. We can understand this. I can understand this. It's just like I'm in Germany at the moment. German people are so smart. They're brilliant engineers, thinkers, and philosophers. I was wondering, because I was such a great nation. Why do they have Nazis? Well, I couldn't understand. This time I could understand. There's something called group hypnosis. That's a group psychological engineering. We saw that in 1930s, the Nazis. We saw that in Soviet Union. We saw that in China. It's just doesn't matter how smart, how intelligent people are, or how intelligent a nation is. Once they get into this group massive hypnosis, just one or two dictators, they can manipulate the group thinking so well. All they need is just a common threat. Example, war or the pandemic. So, and after they're so good at group social engineering, they just once the group, when a nation or group facing a common threat, example COVID-19, the virus, and people will follow the leader. They lost their independent thinking. It's just like they get into the hypnosis status. They believe everything. Even if they notice something unusual, notice something not logical, something bizarre, they've lost their freedom, they've been knocked down in their home, they don't care. They have so much fear. Fear is something so much easier to be manipulated. That's what we've seen currently. But the good thing is this time may be different. That's why we see so many protests all over the world. People are waking up. People are waking up. But I don't know how big the resistance. I still have hope because time is different now. But I have hope, but I'm pessimistic because I think the power behind this, the whole thing is too tremendous. It's too much. That's why we see every government get into this trap. Billions of people get in this trap. And the one wakening up, still minority. And I actually, something like this background. We get into, because of the high technology, the algorithm behind this, we're facing, I think at the moment we are at the crossroad of humanity. Do we still have the freedom of humanity, or we get into a techno, I think that we call that digital dictatorship. We are heading that way. One good example, if you still don't believe what I'm talking about, look at China. China, that's they far ahead of this digital dictatorship because they already, because well, they already dictatorship. They just add high tech on that. So China is the only country in the whole world still have a zero tolerance of this virus policy. Zero tolerance, because almost every country, we still have cases, but we reduce the measurement. But China has zero tolerance. That means even if there's one case, they can lock down the whole city. And every Chinese, they've been digitally tracked. And even go to subway or go to train, they have the face recognition. technology now. So China is far ahead of this digital dictatorship. And basically, they have no privacy anymore. Every movement, every single word they're talking on the phone, every movement, every single 1 cent movement of their wallet, of their bank account, they've been monitored. But for Chinese, that's nothing because they get used to that. But is that the future of the Western world? Are we heading that way? Well, this time, if we don't wake up, I think most likely we are heading that way. Okay. I don't know how far my program can go this time. And I'm just quite pessimistic. I think we're already going too far. And even if we're waking up now, but how much power we've got. But I still believe truth and hope something will change. Hope more and more people waking up, and maybe we can change. It's a long way. It's a long way. Okay. It's not almost Christmas now. And I'm going to Italy and see, going to have a holiday there. Yes, we still have we still have life, but I think we still have power within every individual. Let's just spread the truth, and maybe we can break this propaganda and censorship. The more truth more people know, the more resistance this agenda will have. I think I still have hope. Okay. Thank you very much. You can just tell me what you think. And personally, I think this is a very dangerous time of humanity. Thank you very much. I see you next time. Bye-bye.